right there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bakedanuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true, it's possible Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed the fragment to gain physical form and becomes an earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates old Joy. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand?
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the...
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, with whatever rationality remains, that it cannot defeat you. But sooner or later, its twist when Chiyo set her sights on a target.
Oh.
But both possibilities prove something, and an enemy that can be killed is...
There's really...
Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bakedanuki.
Huh?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bakedanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it.
I beseech you, almighty Shogun, spare the young ones.
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered
Well... yes. During my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare...
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most logical...
Right! Can't you just...
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. Why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting and illusions, and they happen to be right in front of us.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
Maybe they're fools. The Kitsune is clearly referring to the Bakedanuki. Tetsunosuke, Kinkaku, must you be so dense?
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that the entity will be unable to distinguish from the real world.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses.
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh, she just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right. If we work together, I'm confident we can put together a ritual to subdue the nightmare fragment.
Once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have 2 formidable warriors on our side. Our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces, and the almighty Shogun, unmatched in combat.
There's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley line...
The solution to that is obvious. Then naturally, a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure. An enemy that must be annihilated at all costs.
So, if we want to lure it out...
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plain of Euthymia immediately. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can...
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual. I'll need your help, Mizu.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a little fox's daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. Just get some rest and prepare yourself for the battle to come. One more thing. Thank you.